What's going on, plugins? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what happened to UNC Basketball. Before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're new here, sub to the channel and become a part of the family. Now let's get into the video. UNC went from being in the national championship game a year ago to missing the NCAA Tournament. They finished the season going 20-13. As we all know, they went into the season with big expectations. They are ranked as the #1 team in the country, so everything was looking good for them going into the season. Everything seemed to be heading into the right direction going into this season, and it seemed like they were going to repeat the magic they had from last season, but things didn't go as planned. UNC became the first preseason AP #1 team to miss the tournament since the field was expanded to 64 teams in 1985. Most people are wondering, why was UNC so bad this season, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why. First, let's talk about their poor shooting. UNC's three-point shooting was supposed to be their biggest strength going into the season, but it ended up being their biggest weakness. As a team, they shot 31.2% on threes during the season, which is ranked last in the ACC and ranked 317 in Division I basketball. They were a great three-point shooting team last season, and most people thought that would carry on to this season. A big reason for them being so bad was the departure of Brady Manick, who was shooting 40% from three, and he was a big reason for the success during their late season run in 2022. UNC didn't replace the production that Brady gave them, and they thought Caleb Love would step up and be a great three-point shooter, but that didn't happen. Caleb Love was shooting poor all season. Last season, he was shooting 36%, which is decent, but dropped to 29% this season. I didn't expect him to become an elite three-point shooter, but I thought he would be more reliable. Y'all feel what I'm saying? It was plenty of games this season where he was barely making anything or having bad shot selection. He ended the season averaging 16.7 points per game and entered the transfer portal. He has decided to transfer to Michigan. Now in a new team, he's looking to turn his basketball career around. Here's a quote from 24/7 Sports. "Love is still highly talented and can really score the basketball when his shot is falling, and it was clear he needed a fresh start at a new home. If Love finds the right situation and makes a jump in his plateau development, he can find himself among the stars in college basketball." Michigan could be the right situation for him, and everything can go right for him. I feel like this fresh start will be good for him. So I hope he has a bounce back season at Michigan and can fix his NBA draft stock. UNC fans, how do y'all feel about Caleb Love transferring to Michigan? Drop y'all opinions in the comments. The second thing that hurt UNC this season was injuries to Armando and RJ Davis. Armando has had a history of ankle injuries he dealt with last season, and this season he had an ankle injury in a game against Virginia in January. Thankfully, x-rays came back negative and he didn't break anything, but him being injured that game resulted in UNC losing. But after that, things seemed good and he was playing well. He had another ankle injury in the ACC tournament in the second round against Boston College. This affected his performance when he went against Virginia the next day, and UNC lost to them for the second time this season. If he was healthy, they probably would have won this game. RJ Davis was battling injuries all season also. In the beginning of the season, he was nursing a dislocated finger on his shooting hand. Even though he never made a big deal about it, as a fan, you can tell his injury was affecting his play on the court. He was having bad shooting performances. During the holidays, he started playing better, scoring more than 17 points per game, and he was shooting 49% from three between December 21st and January 24th. So at this point, it looked like he was healthy and his shooting numbers were improving. Then he re-injured the same finger against Syracuse. In the next 6 games, he was averaging 13 points per game and shooting about 20% from three. If RJ Davis didn't have to deal with a finger injury all season, UNC would have been good from three as a team because he showed how good he was before he re-injured his finger. Lastly, they blew a lot of late leads this season. They lost 13 games, and 8 of those losses, they blew the leads they had in the second half. 2 of those games this season basically sums up them blown leads, which were against Duke and Pittsburgh. And the game against Duke, they went scoreless in the final minutes while Duke pulled away and won the game. And against Pittsburgh, they had the lead with less than a minute remaining, but turned the ball over on a travel by Armando late in the game. Late game execution hurt UNC time and time again all season. You would think they would be capable of closing out games in crunch time, but for some reason, they struggle. And this is the reason why they didn't make the NCAA tournament this season. Things are heading in the right direction with the 2023 recruiting class coming in with 4-star recruit Simeon Wilcher. He's going to make an instant impact on this UNC team who desperately needs a score. Caleb Love was the leading scorer, but as I stated earlier in the video, he will be transferring to Michigan. So Simeon Wilcher will slide right into the starting lineup and could become the leading scorer. Simeon Wilcher is a 6'4" guard with an NBA-ready body, and he's always in attack mode, and he plays with a lot of intensity. UNC hasn't had a player with this skill set in a while. If they run the offense through him, they'll win a lot of games and get get back to the NCAA tournament. I will say this though, they can't rely on him to be an elite three-point shooter. He's not that type of player. He's the type of player who can go downhill and get you a bucket at the rim and can create his own shot from the mid-range. He can knock down threes though, but that's not one of his strengths. UNC needs to get someone from the transfer portal or hope someone on the team steps up and can be a knockdown three-point shooter, because if that happens, they should do well next season. I don't see UNC missing the NCAA tournament for 2 straight years. If they do, Hurbert Davis might be in the hot seat. I'm sure it's a lot of pressure on him to make sure the team performs well next season. But will the pressure be too much for him? I guess we'll find out next season. Plugins, do y'all think UNC will make the NCAA tournament next season? Will Simeon Wilcher take UNC to the next level and win an NCAA championship? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like on the video and sub to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I post. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.